turn that down. Fantastic. Let's even more further. Let's do that. That's right. Grandma's in action. All right, let's get started. Should have muted that. Oh well. Actually, let's go back and mute that first. Okay. What's happening, everybody? It's your boy Hardcorn, and we're back today with even more action Tiamanin. Can you fucking believe it? Today we've got big news. Good news, everyone. We've got a newsletter that came out the other day. They were a little slow on it, but it's okay. They typically do that. The last one took 34 days to release. But hey, this one is exactly 31 days. They want to go on a 31-month system. How about that? Either way, we've got information regarding stuff in February, stuff for Ragnarok. But more importantly, we've got New Year's costumes as well. Plenty of reruns to look forward to this Valentine's Day. We've got Grandma and all our other buddies here today. It's great stuff to see. How's everybody doing today? Because we've certainly got a lot of news to go over. I'm sure we've heard all about it, but hey, it's time to give my stake on this sort of thing. Glad everybody can make it too. It's 9 something o'clock on a Saturday night. I have stuff to do previously, and I still got stuff to do after. Because even then, I gotta work tomorrow. Yeah. It's that kind of cold out here in the sticks, where you can go ahead and just keep your beer outside, because it's constantly below freezing. It's never not cold. Gotta love it. So we're going to start off our day right. We're going to go. We've already got Grandma over here, but we're going to save that for until after we've gotten ourselves the... Where is it? It should be in there. There it is. We've got ourselves a brand new thing I like to call the newsletter. So let's go ahead and take a look. Alright, we're going to move this. So, for the month of February, a lot of things are going to be, well, let's just say coming up. For starters, at the beginning of the month, I think this is going to be next week. I think it says the 4th. Yeah. We're going to be having Ragnarok in the game. Good old Kiara's mom, the big ice lady who knows what the hell she's doing. Hopefully she turns out to be just as good as we all think she is. She is also going to be our first character who's going to be sharing with Ingrid. This is the, right here is the RPGX sprite that they use. I'm very sad they didn't use it immediately when they had her support come out. Because Sinmara is her actual name. But Ragnarok over here is going to be sharing with Ingrid. And in the supporter itself, she uses the same stance here, but also does not hold the sword. This is like a regular like short sword or something like that, and Ingrid fights using like Ingrid's is a great sword for the most part, but in game she fights like she's using a rapier. So I guess our little ice queen over here is going to be our fantastic fencer, just like Mitsuru Kirijo. Can't wait to try that. So when Tuesday comes around, I'll get her, and then we'll have something to talk about that next Saturday. So we have the achievement period that lasts about the whole month. No, it lasts from the beginning of the month all the way into March 18th. So you have plenty of time to get yourself some Ragnarok action. We get the affinity items for her, typical fare, Frigid Elvigar, Ignis Blade. So I guess Ignis is actually going to be on rate up. So that's actually fares quite well for Ingrid players and her. I don't think, obviously Ignis is not going to work with her. But let's see what a frigid bitch over here gets for this. And Shigami Bishara. This is going to be obviously her Momochi weapon, skeletal, blue lightsaber. This means she's going to have a real back-breaking crits now, because everybody has a plus 14, 15 blue lightsaber, because Ingrid's one of the first characters that ever got released. It's going to be amazing. Hell Knight sword and Squire Edge. So I guess she's going to have her own custom weapon with frigid. We'll see how it does that. So for February events, let's begin with, we got the login event. We have the Valentine's Day, because that's coming up in very, very soon, actually, within 2 weeks. So we have rewards for first half is from the beginning of the month to the 18th, and then for the second half of the month. So effectively just log in for the first half of the month and the second half. A lot of affinity gifts are going to be coming our way. So if you needed the final push to get your characters to 25 to level 20 on affinity, or even to 10, this is the time to do it. Because at the same time now we have affinity boost at the as well. So we can already give 10, maybe we can give 20, or effects may be doubled. So we have chocolate, Valentine's Day gift, love letter, all the really high value gifts. And the popular motherfucker award over here, you can get that too. So also at the same time with Chinese New Year, we are also, today is Setsuban. So you have the Commander Mark Oni mask, the Gacha coin, and the Oni Princess costume voucher we're going to be getting. Can't forget that, guys, because along with the new year, that comes with Setsuban. So already this time of year, we're going to be getting the Oni costume reruns as well. So learn to expect that. We are now also beginning a new VR boss. It's going to be starting at a what is this? The second week, so about 3 weeks from now at this point. So we get VR points boost, the crystal kit. Looks like Astaroth is going to be getting a limited costume set, so we're getting the weapon there. Riot weapon 10-9. Okay, riot weapon. Okay. So Micah's going to be getting an item from the VR shop. So it makes me wonder, is this going to be machine related? Is it going to be something else? So they're not going to be, I guess they're not going to be doing the thing where it has like they split it in half, where it becomes really confusing. Like 1 week's going to be arena, another week's VR, another week something else. It's like, no, it looks like they're just going to have the weapon itself and the supporter item. No, you do the event, you get the weapon. You in the shop itself, it's going to have the supporter. So it's two different things. So now this time we also have the gacha where you can increase the pickup weapon of the weapon or supporter you want. Actually really nice. You guys can actually pick up some really hard-hitting superpower weapons like good old-fashioned Ignis Blade. If you really want to get yourself that pumped-up Ingrid, then go right ahead. That's the weapon for her. And Special Ops 2 is repeating, so if you want to pay the cash for that, you can go ahead. February's Golden Pass is Secret Gift Rinko. Looks real good, in fact. I like it a lot. This is something I like, but I don't know if I can exactly afford it myself at this time, since I already just put down some stuff for it. But hey, if you want some new Rinko costumes, this is it for you. It's in the Golden Pass, obviously. So that works for you. It certainly doesn't work for me. Looks good on her, though. We may be actually picking it up if things turn out. But hey, it's tax time here in America, so if you get yourself a refund, guess what? This may be going to her. It may be going to her. Next, we have a repeat and new event. So once again, we have the very awful event, this where we get to like everybody gets the really cool weapon, the demon. It's like the demon weapon with the really awful effect, but they have super cool designs to them. This time around, it's going to be Saika, Spinel, and Shisui. We already have Mecha Demon Shisui. We're going to have the super sick blade for Spinel, and then the ass kickers on Saika. I like this. I don't like these events because it's like, well, actually, this is well, you put that in there, it's just like, oh, so it's going to be rough to say the least. I don't like those kind of events. Then we have the snake weapon event. This makes a return. So I guess if you really don't need the snake events for any of these three characters, you have yourself the ability to pick up something for each one of them. They're very weak weapons, but they're good for particle charge. All three of these characters do not want to use any of these weapons, to say the least. You will be okay with just taking 5 of these weapons, chunking them up, and using them to go put them into like getting a better weapon or supporter or something. But it's good to be back because it certainly gives a lot of free resources, just like any other repeat event. But what we do have next month is another limited package to come out. This time it's Astaroth. Infernal Threshold. This is going to be Threshold Astaroth with a double XR Lost Drive for the weapon and gems. This is a little out of character for her supporter itself because she's standing on her own 2 feet. It's like, what is this? It's like, what's the deal with Astaroth? She's standing on her own 2 feet. I mean, like, she sits there and floats all the time, and then she goes and uses her feet. It's like, this has to be a clone or something. It cannot be her. That's what the theory is going around, to say the least, in the fact that it's like, she's got to be a clone. Because, like, why would she ever be walking on the ground? She would not grace her steppers, her grippers even, with what commoners have to step on in the first place. Very cool costume, though. This is the first sort of, like, digitized costume we've seen in a while. Like, we have, what is it? Rin got one. The founding, Yukikaze, Asagi, and Sakura have one. Rin has one. Shisui has one of her own, to say the least. It's the Digitalis costumes that I really like, and this is a good look for her. It's a potion special, to say the least. Because I guess they took the proportions she has in the game, where her thigh is literally as big as her waist, so she looks like a DeviantArt character. It's kind of all over the place, to say the least. But it's Astaroth. How broken is this going to be, to say the least? Threshold? It's like, because we already have one weapon that benefits Supernova, another that benefits Serpent Flare. So is this going to be not Evil Heat Blast? It's like, oh my god, I'm forgetting what it is. It's Hellblaze. Yeah, that's it. It's Hellblaze for that one. So will she be like Shiranui, where she has gear that benefits all 3 of her colors? We'll only find out in the next couple of weeks. Then we have Evil Murasaki makes a return. For the second half of the month, you can get Dark Torment package. You can play Planescape Torment with Murasaki. It's really great. This is actually an extremely rare costume for the most part. So, if you missed this, congratulations. You're probably waiting 2 more years. Great stuff. Oni Princess comes back because this was a Golden Pass costume. It's now going to cost more than the Golden Pass, and it will be a terrible deal. I have no idea if they make any money on these sort of ones, because it's like you miss it the first time and it's like it has the worst resources ever. Another one of my favorite costumes makes a return is Black Winged Hell Knight package. This is great. It's one of my favorite costumes for Lena because it's her ultimate RPGX outfit. Looks really great. She gets the black wings. She's looking pure evil. It's fantastic. And we were just talking about this costume a few weeks ago. This is Traitorous Vampire. It makes a rerun. So we have the original Fentanyl at Home. We have Oboro Special. She's got the cape that floats behind her. She's got the evil bad bitch look. Like she's fucking Star Wars, the bad bitch over here. It's like, and you can finally get yourself this for the low price of way too fucking much money. AKA probably like $30 or something for this. It sucks, but it's like, well, that's what you do. But to celebrate Valentine's Day and the Tiamanins in the only way they know how, we get new costumes in what is it? Not secret gift. It's like the ribbons costume. A gift only for you. I forget what the category's called, but Shiranui, Super Emily, and Nagi, I almost forgot her name. Nagi gets her costume, so it's like we get 3 fantastic looks for everybody. I gotta say, good stuff all the way around. We get Super Mom, we get Nagi. She is not forgotten anymore. They're taking good care of her now. They're giving her a good costume, and of course, these are permanent now too. So at any time you can pick these up, and these are always one of my favorites to use. Like Emily out here winning. Her fat ass is so huge you can see it just through the thigh gap and everything like that. She's just showing it off. She don't give a shit. And after that, since it's Setsuban as well, we have Oni Princesses coming back over here. So we have, for the first half of the month, it's going to be Sue, Shiranui, and Sakura. And the latter half of the month is going to be Astaroth, Oboro, and Noah. The Astaroth one is one of my favorites. I got a cool color scheme for it, so I'm very happy with it. But you can celebrate Setsubun the right way with the Oni Princess set. Oh, I gotta move it again. Didn't, nope, not that one. There it is. That should be it, yeah. And then we have the Spring Herald set, which they start off the month of June for spring is here, essentially. So they're going to talk about, all right, now you're going to be having yourself the cool pink, the hot pink set that everybody's going to get rerun. There we go. It's going to get rerun in about March. And as always, what we look forward to at the very end of our newsletters is the, what is it, the coupon code. So I gotta go find it. So if you haven't gotten it yet, you can get yourself the coupon code, which is AM5. Yeah, I gotta type it out. There you go, coupon code for Affinity gifts. Fantastic stuff. You love to see free stuff, but it's safe to say it's like, but speaking of coupon codes, they've been doing this thing recently where they've had various types of, like, when they put out the video, they have things that they've done, obviously, and they have like new player coupon codes. I don't know exactly what that says for the game, because typically the people who check the official website or the channel for stuff about the game is people who are already playing the game. When people are looking to start off this game itself, when they want to play it on their own, they usually go to other people who have posted more often about this sort of stuff so they can answer questions about how to play the game efficiently. Or at least learn how to get started and not get totally stuck at the very beginning. But either way, that is our newsletter for the month of February. Good stuff to look forward to. And we go back here to game capture. Don't you love to see it? Alright, so next up we've got costumes. It's the new year. Happy Chinese New Year, everybody. We celebrated it the other day. I think there was a Wednesday that it actually happened. We had it yesterday in Zenless. We had it, and then we're going to have some today over here. We got the campaigns we're doing today. This is actually like kind of dumb. It's like, what? Why do we have this? This is like, hold on. Like, what is this? Why would we have a +3 for daily quests and +5 for events? Is this like an accident or something? Is this their way of nerfing so you can't do 16 runs at once? It was like 16 to 18 runs at once, so you just can't. I don't get it. It doesn't make sense. Yeah, it's like they have reduced and booster at the same time, which is obviously busted as hell. So you can go farm all your gold that you need. So let's see. We have win in the battle arena, play said arena, play Total War. Well, I guess we have to do normal mode Total War 5 times. What a travesty. Oh well, let's go take a look at Grandma over here and see what she's got. So with this costume, it's like it's a New Year costume. It's modest for the most part, to say the least. As modest as you can be in the Tiamanin series. So we've got, like, you know, okay, she's got the cutouts on the side. It looks cool. You can even take off the sleeves. Like, Grandma is way too big and too much to handle for the most part in the game. You even get cool, fun colors. You can get it in purple, red, or you can get it like black like I did. She's a very regal set of circumstances. And thankfully that Hebiko also has a New Year's set as well in the same color. They really are. They really are just good friends, to say the least. They're very good friends. They share clothes. They do all that. It's like awesome. I'm glad that they really are doing the... They're really putting forward to the theming on these characters. They appreciate each other in many special ways. So as you can see, it's like Grandma out here. Foxy Grandma is just really showing it off as best she can. It's a much more modest outfit, to say the least, which I'm honestly impressed that they did, because it's like it's a new year. I think it's a yukata for New Year, and it's like kimono for summer. So it's like you have those, and it's like typically yukatas are very thick for the one I remember. So it's like she's out here wearing nothing at all, nothing at all, nothing at all, because Grandma's too hot to handle, to say the least. Because I say it's like, because honestly, it's just like, it's truly just okay. It's not like a real barn burner or anything that really just makes you blow your nuts off. It's just nice to look at. It's a very nice themed costume for the situation. You can even take her hair down and she looks fantastic with it. Here's another thing about hair too. She managed to put out like what, this is like almost 1.5 meters full of hair right there. And she's like, alright, I'm just going to put that in there. It's all held in place by the comb and like the 2 picks. It's like, goodness gracious, lady. But at the same time, though, these costumes always come with a sort of package deal. This is the weapon that you get for it. Kamatogami. So with the limited sets, this is going to affect her green builds. So Shattering Blow consumes 1, but it always crits. And it doesn't work when you don't have particles, obviously. So when you're using skills, you have a 45% chance to restore 5% of your lost HP. Activates every 8 seconds. So how does this work? This typically is you go for, what do you call it? You're obviously doing it with green. This weapon is like, for the most part, inferior to her critical damage SR. Why would it be inferior to that? Well, for the most part, the critical damage SR allows for crits on anything. So, like, you could use it in blue, red, green. You can use it in any color, any setup, and it just makes your crits stronger for the most part in every situation. However, it doesn't guarantee a crit, so it kind of makes her fall off in VR for a damage boost, for a damage setup. In this situation, you have her just do green, which makes it so she can automatically crit even on high floors. So she can always crit on high floors, but even then you still have high critical resistance, so it renders this almost moot. You'd be better off taking other people in there, which is a sad state of affairs for my favorite Foxy Grandma over here. So the second half of this skill, the second part of this weapon has a 45% chance to restore 5% of lost HP and activates every 8 seconds. You know what has a 8-second reactivation? Power Release. Power Release is has a faster cooldown than that. And here's the thing about how this works. You use this skill all the time. Like, there isn't a time where you're not going to use this, because it's armor, it's speed, it's damage. It's really good. So, if you don't have a correct setup, if you don't have the soul art stack and the set together, you're going to be using 10% of your max HP. The weapon itself only heals with lost HP. So 5% of your 5% of your lost HP is effectively nothing. And then you're going to be using this skill again, and you're going to take out either between 10 to 20% of your max HP each time, for every time, not 20%. Like, you use 2 uses of this, that's 10% of your max HP. It makes more sense to use it when you have like the full set and soul art, but it's also like, it's 5% of your lost HP. So when it's like you're using this at max health or something, it's when you use this at max HP, like it's like the beginning of a round and you want to use this, it's 5% off. And then it's like, okay, you had to take 5% of what was lost there. And if that was like what? It's just like the math is escaping me right now, but it's effectively like if she has 10,000 HP, we take 5% of that, which is like 500. So you have to you're healing 5%, and it's like it's like 5% of max, so it's 500. So you're healing 5% of that 500 HP loss. So it kind of falters at the top end. So, but when she's taking damage, and you have like 5% of what your HP is lost, then it actually works a lot better. However, she still has better healing skills with Smoke Fan, which is better because it scales off your damage dealt. It can heal up to 6% of the damage dealt, which is great. I really wish her weapon affected this, because this is a good skill. And where's Smoke Cloud? And then she has not Smoke Cloud, but it's it's Restoration. And then she has Restoration. It's 1% of max HP on hit, which is a way, way better healing skill, and she can also heal other people with it too. It's just, the weapon is just okay at best. Then we'll go to the supporter. There it is. The supporter itself is a bit different. It's really, really, really helpful, because they want you to use both the weapon and the supporter together, so you can have you put in the main slot so you can constantly have particles dropping, so you can always spend time critting with the one skill. That's it. That you're effectively only playing one skill Inage, and that's it, because she isn't going to be doing much else besides critting. So it's like every time you collect a particle, that's like 10%. It's 20% more damage at max. So for 15 seconds, that's honestly like a really good item for like time attack, because you have you want to use a lot of particles, you want to gain a lot of particles, use them up to stop the clock and stuff like that, and you get a damage bonus, so it makes killing waves easier. And then you have this absolute monster of an effect, which is increases damage against groggy enemies by 25 to 50%. Honestly, one of the most insane boosts to this in the first place. This is what you get when you have the Sakura weapons that you get from mileage. This is effectively that effect that you can get, and then you can have it on a supporter. This is the sub effect too, so you can have it just in the back line, and that's effectively where it's going to stay. Because man, that's like great, because when you're playing Total War or you're playing VR, breaking armor is like really, really important to make your enemies immobilized. So this is like super duper important to have. So you can just do even more damage to something like that. You can even use it in PvP, because guess what? Her green skill actually inflicts groggy with the 2 set. And you're just not gonna be running it without a 3 set either. Good stuff here. I wish I had more copies of this, because I know this is gonna be like the perfect one of the nice green sub slottings that is like super duper important to the character. Well, not so much to the character, but to like everybody. Everybody benefits from this. Like everybody benefits from it. It's a nice generalist passive in the back line, but the main thing is like it's okay. It's like it has a team healing effect, but it's a lost HP restoration. It's not going to be beating Felicia anytime soon, because it doesn't last as long. And I don't know if it's actually like, I need to test that again, whether or not it's like you just use the when you do the call, it gives what is it? It's a 3-story lunchbox. So I think it's just like the nuke. It was a nuke itself, and then it just does the lost HP by 10%. It takes 60 seconds, so it's like it's a pretty crappy call. But the 30% chance to drop a particle orb maxes out at 60 every 3 seconds. That's pretty great. That's honestly like, this is a good supporter. I really, really wish I had more.
隊長さんと呼んだ。さーて、戦いの準備だ。
But now we have to... Oh, wait. Hold on. Let's change her out. Let's see Grandma in action.
稲毛屋出張開店だよ。
We'll level that up, and we'll put it to good use. We'll see just how much it can really make for a devastation setup. Because for the most part, like when we're playing it, like this is like easy and like it's event stages, so it's not like it matters too much. Because it's like it's low level events. I'm going to be like blowing the crits. I'm going to blow on the doors off of them every time.
暇つぶしくらいには手伝うかね。まったく。どれ、私でよければ少しばかり知恵を出してやってもいいぞ。まだ私をこき使うか。まあ、暇つぶしくらいには手伝うかね。
Alright then, so while we get this sort of stuff set up, what do you guys think of Ragnarok when she's finally appearing? Do you think she'll actually make a difference for the most part? Do you think she's going to be like, she's going to be the savior of Freeze? She's going to be changing the game for the most part? Because for the most, for what I think is like, she's going to be interesting to say the least since she shares gear with Ingrid. So I'm expecting like a powerhouse type of character. So it's like she, in the lore of the game itself, she's supposed to be like on the same sort of power level as Astaroth. So we're going to have the ice equivalent of Astaroth, hopefully in the like next week, which would be really cool. I like that sort of idea. Because Astaroth herself is like absolutely like incredibly devastating because she can play at a distance. She's got all kinds of fire and everything like that, so she's able, and she's got plenty of AoE and single target too. She has an answer to everything. So are they going to give her the Astaroth treatment where she's just insanely strong at every step of the way, or are they just going to make it very difficult for her to exist like they have been for some other characters? I'm looking at you, Francis. Life is very hard for that baby girl, I'll say that much. Let's get some affinity points in there. Because we got to save up for... Oh, we already did that today. That's right, I've had this on since like 4 o'clock. It's a pretty big day too, since it's also like this is... She's Protect, so we'll keep that. Because like today I think it's like I'm going to be hitting like 3,000 hours into this game. Really puts things into perspective to say the least. For the most part, though, it's like when I see what like they've done with Ragnarok thus far, like she looks very cool. But the thing is, it's like the one time that you get invested in the character and see what happens to them, it's like it's Ragnarok. She's the mother of Kiara. I would think they would treat her pretty decently since her daughter is one of the most popular characters in the franchise. Though albeit both Kiara and Ragnarok are pretty boring characters. You don't really have a lot going on for them besides being hot vanilla type of things. Like they don't really endure too much abuse in the first place. And they made like for what is it, like Ragnarok's life is her marital status is of course ambiguous because like her husband is dead. So she's like, she's a free woman, but she also loves her husband. So she get fun stuff like that. We should have done this ages ago. God, her ass is so fat. Like, I can hardly believe it. Grandma just don't give a shit. Oh, I think this is also an event where we fight the Oni twins. Because we played through this event, like, last year. Also, that's hard to believe in the first place. It's like it's already been a year since this event. Time really flies for the most part. I can hardly believe it. Because like this time last year I tried getting like into a different department at work. And now it's like so many things have happened at least in 1 year. I mean, it doesn't surprise me that people are complaining about like how Kiara looks in this game, because that's like they've done her very poorly for the most part, and they had a chance to even go back and like rectify these certain things. It's not like they can't do it, because I mean it's like why? You're just missing out on the whole fact. It's like, great, this is a character people really enjoy, and it's easy money. In fact, it's so easy money. They spent like most of the time when the game first like opened, I think like right after Kiara got in the game, they have like most of Kiara's costumes are Golden Pass or limited limited costumes in the first place. It's really hard to like get old stuff for her because it's like there's just no way to get it. Like, obviously, they went the distance and gave her, you know, booby action, but I guess they didn't think about, hey, this character, you know, we look at the characters from the front in the menu, but most of the time is spent looking at this character from behind, and guess what? Kiara has a gigantic dumper over there, so thanks for ruining that for her. As much as I don't really like her, she doesn't exactly deserve that sort of fate. Like, Kiara doesn't look like her in RPGX. I mean, they certainly have gotten better with how the characters are portrayed and the way they look in this game. Oh, it's the Oni twins. Kura and I can solve this. Well, I certainly do appreciate that it has the guaranteed crit behind it. Because at this point, it's just like, for that weapon itself, it's just a waiting game. It's like, just build up your particles, get as many buffs as you can, and then just like, one click and it's over. It's more or less like one shot, one kill situation that Tokiko is supposed to be known for. And also the confirmed crit also works on the secondary part of the second explosion that comes when you use a soul art stack. Also, I have no idea where people are getting, like, soul art gives a buff in the first place. It doesn't give a buff. It counts as a buff. But it doesn't actually give any other, like, effects. It's just a resource to spend. Like, I don't know where that comes from. Like, what is it supposed to do? It doesn't do anything. It just gives, like, it's just a stack for her to use. It doesn't give her attack or speed boost or anything. That's like with everything else inside of the kit that she has. So it makes me wonder, like, who is giving, like, deliberately wrong information like this? Like, it's even in here. Use soul art to enhance certain skills. It's like, that's it. Don't say it gives attack. Don't say it gives attack, speed, or defense. It's like, it's just wrong. What do the kids call that day? You're gaslighting them. You're giving them misinformation. Do a little trolling, as they say. Like, by God, this game already has enough problems with the fact that there is a wiki for this game itself. Because I don't have to go there very often in the first place. But it's also like, what is it? I don't have to go to the wiki very often in the first place, but it's like, looking up information for this game is like really, really hard. Because I can't think of any other time where it's like, you know, I'm trying to look up something for information on supporters, because like the game itself, like most of the information regarding supporters and such is in the game. Like, you have the repository of, like, in the collection section, you can see all the supporters, whether or not it has, like, what do they call it? Whether or not it has, like, what the effects are and everything like that. I guess from an external resource, they have the AT wiki, but even then it's like, it's still pretty bare bones from what I remember. It's honestly something that should be like, I should probably check that again for the most part. Guagua. Does it really change the color of her underwear? That's actually really cool. But I get it though, Darth Neo. Kiara is not very interesting, to say the least. She's one of those characters where, to me, it's like, oh, she's very pretty, but she pretty much doesn't have a lot going for me in the first place. She sells very well. That's what all I know. Oh. Huzzah. And that's what I love about the armor. You can just punch those enemies when they're caught in their 4-second long animation in the back. It's like I'm playing Neo all over again. Well, why don't you want it to happen? It's like, it's Snake Lady. It's the year of the snake. Oh, I forget how I forget how that's supposed to work. I need to check that, because there's she has 2 skills that teleport you directly to the next enemy. I think the other one that she has the teleport to furthest enemy, and then you use that skill. It's a cheap clap. There it is. It's no, it's where is it? Blink. There it is. The furthest enemy, and then this is the nearest enemy. So you're supposed to use blink, and then you use shitter shatter to do that at the same time. You specifically use like that combo together because that way you can, because the boss is typically going to be one of the furthest things away from you because it's like it's so insanely far away. Going down to Stuttgart. I saw that they have a, what is it, White? White is getting a figure, at least on like, I saw it on the front page of Ami Ami, and then it's like, my goodness, it's like, all the Tiamanin statues are so very expensive. It's like, you can buy almost like 2 regular statues from any other series, but it's like, with Tiamanin, it's gonna always cost you like an arm and a leg to do anything. Because I think, what is it? The Figma Arts is not, it's not Figma Arts. It's like the posable Asagi costs like, I think every time I see it on a resale site, it's almost always like $300 to $400. It is so crazy. Yeah, Darth Neo, they have them. They've been around for a very long time, and they're always super duper expensive because they know the people, like, when they, fans of the series love paying. They love paying for everything. Shazoo. No, they're still expensive because they show the like if you buy them in Japan, they typically cost like the resale one. Oh god, I got hit by the bad thing. Because like when they show it on like the Ami Ami website, like for the front page, it's like, okay, white's gonna cost like 18,200, I think, or like 20,000 yen approximate, something like that. Obviously, when you go to a USD to yen conversion, it's much, much less. But it's also the fact that it's like, man, that's a lot of, that's a hefty ass yen price, to say the least. But since the a really good story about that is how the figure, the posable Asagi figure, has a pregnant there's a pregnant stomach option that you can get inside the kit itself. And if you lose that, it's you have to buy the whole kit again just to get that one item. So people would buy the bootleg version of that just so they get the pregnant item. It's one little piece of ABS plastic that costs like, so you it costs like next to nothing. So you get like the bootleg version, which will cost like $1, not even that. Because obviously they don't have replacement parts, especially for something that's like that small and that loose. Splint. Because there's the clone Asagi statue. That's another really, really expensive one. I think that's like 25,000 yen or something. So it sits at a nice 200 something. It's almost like $140. It's a little too expensive for its own good, I gotta say. Come on. Go. Go, please. Come on, Grandma. You gotta punch their... You gotta knock their shit out. A critical annihilation Grandma is not good for clearing just like regular stages. Damn, look at how big that hitbox is. That just shut that down. That's going to be really good against Yuffie and Sophie because it's like, because Sophie is almost always the one that's targeted and this is going to be the furthest back. So doing this correctly means he'll be able to just wouldn't be worried about it. I have a friend that's out in Japan right now. He's certainly having a good time, but it's like, my goodness, obviously everybody's going over there now due to like how weak the yen is worldwide. So you get to just go there and like live like a king for next to nothing. Well, obviously, since now they have like this whole like boom to their economy as of late because of all this like tourism influx, I guess like since they have such powerful money coming in, I guess it's a good boost to their economy. Makes you wonder just how long will it last though, because good things like that can never last. Hello there, children. Really? It actually counts their... oh no, it doesn't. I was like... Smash. Grandma's classic acupuncture. Just get your back blown out grandma style over here. Like, my goodness. She's gonna break your neck. Call her the chiropractor. I swear to fucking God. Alright, so that's bonus stages now. Let's finish this up, because I want to beat up Yuffie and Sophie with finishing it off with Grandma over here. Let's see, we have, we'll just use Laura. I don't know, do you guys own any Tiamanin merchandise or like figures or dakimakuras, little acrylic stands, like you name it? Do you guys have any of that sort of stuff? Bootlegger official, it's still something. It's quite literally better than nothing. Because they certainly do have a lot of like rare goods out there, like stuff that they'll like never ever release again. Because there's like what? Because from what I remember, it's like I've been searching for this for a while. Because there's there's like 2 Asuka dakimakuras that exist, and they're always such high prices. They always fetch a high price when it's like they have they always have such a high price whenever they're like on sale or anything like that. No, the resale for them is like insanely high for some reason because like they just never rerun it for the most part. Like if you're not like, you know, Asagi or Sakura, Yukikaze or Rinko or Ingrid, it's like you effectively will never see those costumes ever reran in the first place. It kind of sucks. Not costumes, but like that merchandise in the first place. because they have that stuff for like there's smoke cloud.
仕込みは大事だよ。慎重かつ大胆にね。
It's just like, oh, it's just like, it sucks when it happens. I'm like, great, what am I supposed to do about that? There's not a whole lot you can do, because it's like you're just at the whim of like waiting for them to do stuff with it. We're not, no, they're humans, so we can actually do this. We're fighting a lot of demons. Take that off. But Ingdings, Ingrid, you're gonna get a lot more use out of next week. We're gonna be seeing a lot of you for sure. Crimson Slasher. Let me get and take that. Put Karini. Because I only have a few things myself. Because they always take like 2 to 3 weeks to get here from the state, from Oceanside. And then you have to wait like you got to get it through customs and everything like that. It's quite the endeavor, to say the least, to get them through stateside. It's a lot of waiting, and it also costs like a ton too. Boy, that's loud. Because something they like to do with the when you buy like official Lilith products is they like to give you little trading cards with every one of your purchases. They're little pieces of like semi-transparent acrylic that you have to like that you get to like see inside, and like, oh cool, it's like I got an Astaroth card or I got a Sakura card. They're mostly just like repurposed assets from like Battle Arena and RPGX. Because like I got my my 2012 Ingrid reran, and they gave me Taba cards. Which is cool, to say the least, because it's like because 2012 I think is when Taba was still in infancy, but it's like it's just nice to have stuff from that era, to say the least. Now I imagine it's like kind of random what they give you, and like in terms of goods when you go buy stuff from there. Because the most recent one I bought is like this Asagi one, and they gave me stuff from RPGX. So maybe they actually have it. They pay attention on the RPGX side of stuff for theme consideration. You got the Sakura figure that cost 300 and it was gigantic. Yeah, that's accurate. That is 100% true to the fact. They are very, very expensive and also huge. Oh, come on. Like 300 isn't like out of any realm of possibility for them. Like I said before, they know they pay. They really do. It's like it is not anything out of the ordinary. It costs it costs quite a lot. Alright, Grandma, you do a pretty good job, but I need to use somebody else at the moment. We'll save you for the bonus stages. Let's see. Let's use Ingrid. Ingrid, you do a good job. Ingrid, you also just totally decimate whatever gets in your way. We'll use Revenant, and we'll use, where's Lilith? Where's Lilim? Lilim. Piercing Dragon, Evil Heat Blast. Absolute Incarceration. I can only imagine just how much it costs, and how much it would take to even just get something like that through customs. Because there's like duty taxes you have to do to like going through there and everything like that. It's got to be like hellaciously expensive. Like for the most part, and like you almost never ever see it on like Latin America resale sites because it just costs so damn much that most people will never ever buy it unless it's something like really special. Because I know they have like there's Macari Japan, and there's like Macari like the English side of things. I wonder is like what is like the resale market for like anime goods in like Latin America or something. Now, like obviously, like I know you guys love your Dragon Ball and like you know your shonen anime, but I want to know what it's like when you want to buy something like really specific. Like let's say I want to buy Fate goods. Like I want to buy something from like the Fate series in Mexico. What is that or like in South America? What's it like with that? Because I imagine it's like it's already hard enough to get like just regular anime goods down there that isn't specifically shonen. It's like, what's it like with that? There's got to be like something with like it's got to be like the ass end of like way too expensive to be like feasible. Because I always hear about stories of like my Brazilian buddy. Like he, you know, it's like they all play like the Fortnite and like they all do that, but it's like the moment you try to get anything specific that's not like general purpose anime or something that's like not Saint Seiya or Dragon Ball or like Jujutsu Kaisen or something like that, or explicitly like not a immediately well-off popular anime, it's hard to get those things. You have to special order it. And like thanks to all the shipping and all the customs you have to do for it, it's gonna cost you like the item. A $3 keychain ends up costing effectively like $30 because of all the work that ends up having to go through it. Because I certainly understand some of you guys are down south of the border and it's a lot harder to get those through there. Come on, Sophie. Yuffie, come here. There you go. Good job. Thanks for walking right into that. That's I love Ingrid's Evil Flare so much. No, Evil Flare is the other hold version of the attack. It's another skill. Shit. No, Evil Heat Blast. What is it? What is that called? What's the fireball called? Dark Flame. Evil Heat. The other one I'm thinking of is that's the same input, but it chases enemies down. Shazoom! Kaboom, baby. That's the good shit right there. There we get behind Sophie. That is... I'm very glad I turned down the sound effects for this because I just know it's like I'm looking at like the audio meters on like on OBS, and I can see like as soon as I dropped Dark Flare, it just immediately went into the Dark Flame. It immediately goes into the yellow. It's super loud. I can almost imagine like getting something in like South America or Central America. It's just like you have to take out a loan just to end up covering the taxes of the item itself. Shit, I didn't make it over there. Is the same as more the month of payment. It makes sense. I imagine it's like effectively a car payment. Ingrid, how much did you bring in today? 71.98. That's pretty good. We're about half. We're about a little under halfway. The struggle is real for certainly with our Central America buddies over here. Like, my goodness. Oh, cool. We're still at 9. That means I can drop that down. Besides the fact that, like, you know, the dollar, the peso is so painful, there are other things you can look forward to. Like this. Like, you can look forward to beating up Yuffie and Sophie again, because it's they really like putting this boss down as, like, you know, whenever they want to have some sort of, like, hard event, they put them in there because, you know, one of them can heal, and the other one's so totally brain dead you can just avoid them for the most part. It's very, very... It's very annoying, because it's like, if you aren't doing enough damage to, like, you know, incapacitate Sophie very often... No, Sophie's the red one, so Yuffie's the other one. If you can't incapacitate the blue one very quickly, she just makes the whole event like a total hell to get through. Which is certainly not something you really want to say to yourself, like, oh boy, I love it when my events just take, like, so much more work than they need to. It's like, come on, guys. See you later then, Darth Neo. Have a good one. He's gotta go. It's getting late over there in other parts of the world. Go get him, Grandma Ingrid. That's right. They didn't stand a single chance against her. This corporately sanctioned, what is it? Our private military contractor, Ingrid the Hell Knight. Exchange your clothes. We already use enough of Ingrid for that. She can't exactly, like, Ragnarok is not going to be able to use Ignis, and in fact, it's like, I don't think they really want to, that shit comes in waves. Like, they have really strong enemies, well, not like really strong enemies, but they have, like, really strong weapons that come out every once in a while, and then they just have, like, total duds. It's like, it's very odd. Like, Ingrid's best weapon for a long time was her arena weapon, because Skeletal Tartaros, like Skeletal Tartarus or whatever it's called, is pretty bad. It's been bad ever since she released. I can't believe I actually made myself like, all right, I'm gonna go try and pick that up. No, I knew it was bad, and it's like I needed something for her. That's what you get when you're a young account and you make poor decisions. I've certainly gotten past it, but I didn't like it anyway. I didn't like it that much. But either way, it's just like, man, it's a rough state of affairs. Because, like, for the most part, they've just taken the renewal weapons as, like, a chance to, like, upgrade the strength of a character that has certainly fallen off as time has went on. Like, a really great example of that is, like, is obviously Ingrid. Because Ignis Blade, like, you know, it synergizes with her very well. They certainly understood how Ingrid works. She's a multi-hit master, so it's like, alright, let's make her as strong as possible with that. Oh, this is perfect because like the only costume I ever used for Eleanor is her shared Kiara outfit, because I really like it on Eleanor a lot, because it's a really good look for her, especially when you can get it that matches her skin tone. You have the peach color, the light brown. It's really nice. You know who else gets this outfit though? Ragnarok is going to be getting Kiara's outfit again. So this makes, like, I think this is 4 or 5 characters who now share outfits with Kiara. Is it just like the easiest outfit for them to like apply to another character? That is like a legitimate question for me. It's like, I know it's like, you know, she's popular, but it's like some of these characters certainly don't really need her outfit. I typically like it when they take the time to have like the character's outfit be a hint to like a future release. That's like my favorite, because it actually gets me interested in like, oh, this is coming out? That's awesome. When they reuse a character out, they do that. Like, they do it pretty often, like where they give like, you know, a future release type of outfit character, an outfit which leads to a future release. We don't need Kiara to share outfits anymore, please. We really don't. Like, she already has enough. Oh, you have to kill all of them? No, thank you. Like, those other characters certainly didn't need Kiara's outfit. See, when we caught those 2 little bitches laughing, they got sucked into the wormhole and got shredded up. Confidence begets arrogance. Because Ragnarok sharing outfits with Kiara, it makes sense, but we're in year 4 right now, and we have so many at least once a year somebody's sharing a costume with Kiara, which I don't like. It doesn't feel new. It feels legitimately expected, and the fact that it happened like this time, I'm like, great. That is one costume spot that's like that doesn't offer any surprise. It doesn't bring anything new to the table. It's just, it's Kiara's outfit again. There it is. I would have rather had Samara share something with like another character, like we could share armor with Azusa or something. Like, share with new characters or something. Keep everybody interested. Because they certainly have the ability to, like... Theming is not out of their capacity. It isn't. Because I know they do... They take great strides with, with Hebiko and Foxy Grandma herself. Like they make them match in a lot of situations because people get it. I like that. It's a good idea. Now, for the most part, it's just like, well, what is there to do with that? There's not much to say the least, because it's like, that's it. Has Astaroth shared her outfit with anybody yet? No. That would have been really... Brian, see, you got it right. You know who would have been really great for Ragnarok to share with? Astaroth. Yes, I know sharing with her daughter makes sense. It really does. We just don't need another Kiara costume. We really don't. Astaroth would be a really great one to share because they have the fire and ice thing going on for them. Should have shared hers with Phantasma. It would have been a really great idea. But honestly though, it's like Phantasma getting a Lilim outfit. I'm like, that's good. That's like my that's like I said before. That's my favorite kind of when they give rival outfits. Is it something that makes us look forward to the future? And it's like, it's future Lilim for the most part too, so it's going to be the fat tits version that everybody wants. It's great. I like that. That's a good, smart decision. I don't know. I'm also heavily biased against like Miss Icy Hot herself because she's just not that great. She is like her as a character is like the antithesis of what like Tiamanin is. It's a power fantasy over strong women. So at its core, she's a meek, submissive. She's like the funny gal type character. It's like, oh haha, she's hot and funny. That's so great. Let's do some vanilla stuff with her. It's like, no. What the real big thing people tend to miss out on is these are haughty women who get corrected by gigantic evil things, and they spend most of their time doing it. The story doesn't continue unless they actually win. They do in the correct like timelines worth things, but you don't play it for that because it's honestly like one of the weaker parts of the story. You play it for them getting totally messed up and banged around in various horrible situations. So it's like anything that's like so you get dangerously milquetoast with characters like Kiara. It certainly sells, but it kind of takes away the spirit of Tiamanin for me. There's a lot of other characters in this series that are like the same thing too. I love that. I just love just shooting Maelstrom behind them. They turn around because like since they're so close, they're going to taunt, and then it's like you take advantage of that, break their armor, and then suddenly just send them directly to the Shadow Realm. It's legitimately great. Something people don't really like to talk about or really explain a lot with. Actually, I need to make sure this is locked. There we go. Something people don't usually talk about with the character strengths of this game is that Astaroth is like obviously the answer. Everybody goes to Astaroth. She's extremely strong. There's no doubt about that. But people don't typically look beyond like look at the big picture of things. Astaroth's greatest strength is that she is ranged and has like just like snipes enemies down because she's an entire she's the whole fucking powerhouse. She ain't just one room, she ain't the garage or the living room, she's the whole damn house. So, because she just instantly does huge damage. What people don't tend to consider is that Eleanor does almost a lot of the same things, if not better, than Astaroth. Eleanor has to be a little bit closer. She doesn't have like the global nuke ability that Astaroth does. But Eleanor, when she gets in close and brings in the CC that brings the boys to the yard, she grinds them up just as good as Astaroth, if not better in some cases. Like, I would honestly put like the both of them on the same level of strength because it's just like blue Eleanor is just like blue Astaroth. It's really, really good. Because even with like just Maelstrom by itself when it does a single target, it's like it's hitting several times very hard. And it's such a huge item too. It's just like it's effectively a multi-hit nuke. We got fucking Phantasma got fingered over here. It's just like, my lord. Like, honestly, if you have enough weapons to yourself, like, you can do something pretty nuts in the first place, which is running all three of the ball users at the same time, which is Eleanor, Phantasma, and Kiara. And it's actually, like, it's a pretty ass comp because, they can't, what is it? Phantasma does a lot of support with the fact that she can like debuff enemies, and Eleanor is your main DPS, and then it's just more like Kiara is just more support. She can't heal or anything like that, so you have to baby her. But if you actually get things to go correctly, you can use all three of them together, and it turns out pretty well because you get pretty strong crowd control with the fact that you have like what is it? Eleanor's suction, Phantasma's defense down, and then Kiara has speed down as well, and then also immobilization with freeze. They don't exactly like it's effectively just two supports in a DPS, but it's like if you really, really enjoy all three together, you can actually put them together. It's a little bit clunky, but it certainly works. Like you would be driving Kiara, because the AI would not be able to use her glacier drop correctly. I wouldn't go so far to say that Eleanor is an underrated character. She's not. She really isn't. She's very, very good. She's been good. She's like a Shisui situation, where she's been very good since day one. But unlike Shisui, where she's just boring and very good, Eleanor takes a little learning to make sure that you can properly space yourself and get the most out of her attacks. Because something people don't actually talk about is the fact that she has a ranged immunity extreme dodge, which is like, that's honestly like crazy to think about. She gets just like a straight up ranged immunity. It's like, how many characters can even say something like that? Like, I honestly love it because, like, when you take it to Spider, which is full of like ranged projectiles, and she's really good in machines too because of this. Like, she just ends up going from like taking the most damage out of the entire team to like taking none at all because it activates, and I think it almost lasts the entire cooldown. Some crazy shit to say the least. I wonder what this year's character releases are going to look like, though. Because we have, like, Ragnarok is going to be our first of the year. And it's like, it's a pretty strong start. You get pretty Ice Queen at the Valentine's Day. It's good. It's good to start off with. Because it's like, what did we have? I would have rather they had the Chinese lady that they released in the last chapter to be for Valentine's, for one, Chinese New Year, and two, Valentine's Day. That would have been really great. That's like a perfect, like, they understand what they had on their hands with that type of character. It's really good. It's a really solid design. Everybody likes her. But I just don't understand why they want to put in like the what's it called, RPGX character into here. It's like, dude, you have struck gold with like Chinese lady. Let's use her. People want her in the game. It would be our first staff user. So it makes me wonder, it's like, oh, is she gonna be like is she gonna be like King Yi from Zenless, where she has the solid staff, but if she electrifies it, she turns into a triple segmented staff? That would be really cool. That would be awesome to do. Because it would make a lot of sense, and that would be a really fun thing to do. But I gotta go over here and get a drink. All right. I think we could honestly hold off on the spear users portion, because like we already have two very well liked spear users. We have Shiranui and we have Lapis. People like them very much. It's like they're good. Like, we're good with those. I want the staff user very badly because that's a very cool character type. We need more Michelangelos. We need our bow staff users. Another kunai user would be pretty cool too there, Brian. I like that. Someone who could actually share with Tokiko would be honestly pretty nice. Because Tokiko, while I don't like her very much, I would rather have anyone else use her weapons. She does a lot of cool stuff in the first place. She's very fast and agile. But it's also like, if I can give somebody else like Dark Knife, like, because Dark Knife is one of the game's best weapons, like, period. It's it's the Mito Haruka of weapons. It works for one specific thing, but it's an SR that everybody can get. Like, my goodness. Because, like, there you go. It's like, how could we improve upon the platform that is a kunai? You're effectively playing a fast agility knife fighter. It's like, what is it? What would you do for that? Like, as a knife fighter, they typically are, like, they're stabbing and cutting into an enemy, and they do hit and run tactics. Like, it almost feels like if Inage wasn't like a smoking type of character, she would be like a she would be effectively like a knife user, because like Inage is all about like constantly stabbing and piercing your opponents, and obviously smoking, but that's with her. So then it raises the question to me, like, okay, so if they have like who are some of the more popular characters in RPGX? That's like, if that's how their model is for bringing characters into AT, you just gotta effectively look at who is the most popular characters like in AT right now that are not already in the game or have recently released in RPGX, to see whether or not, like, okay, they'll be putting them in some capacity. Because Eleanor is a very special case. Not Eleanor. Phantasma is a really cool case about this, because Phantasma released earlier that year in RPGX, earlier last year in RPGX, and then she became playable during the summer. So it's like they were pushing her on all fronts. So who would be like a knife user, or at least like some sort of kunai or like dagger fast speedy user that could be from RPGX or Taba into here? Because speaking of other characters people really want in the game, Mirabelle is a one choice that everybody has been clamoring for a long time. They want our brown machine woman. Because Brown Machine Woman's very cool. She because this is what we know about Mirabelle. She is muscular, has huge tits, drives a mech suit. She has like a exoskeleton hard suit that she uses in the game. That's pretty much it. She gets totally decimated. She gets some serious backshot action. She's a classic case of the hottie that gets corrected. She's very good for that, which is why people want her in. It's mostly because she's hot. Dude, we need more machine types. We literally have 4 in the game. Like, they could literally add a machine after every single release for the next 5 releases this year, and it still wouldn't even be close to the amount of humans and demons we have. Like, it's honestly crazy to think about that. Yeah, we have 4 machines, don't we? No, it's like Ina's human. So what is it? It's Shisui, Emily, Asuka, and Saika. Saika's a machine. She's a sex machine, to say the least. I love my fat robot. How could you forget about Saika? She's so cool. Oh, how did you forget about Asuka? Well, I don't know. I really like Asuka. I do. She's one of my favorites, that's for sure. I love sassy robot girl. One of my favorite characters in the game. This is actually a character I inadvertently have all of the costumes for, because it's like I don't even use her that much. She's just like, she's so funny. She's super hot, and I really like her. She's like Asagi to me with that. I really like her. She has a really fun playstyle ever since they gave her renewal. Like, I remember when I made my video about her the first time around, she was like a very mediocre character. I still liked her when she was like mid as fuck. She's like I like her now. She plays way better too after her renewal. I actually am glad they made some of the changes I was looking forward to looking inside there. She's so much fun. I don't use her as much as I should. They could put Nanaka as a second axe user for the game. That would be really great because she's like the direct like apprentice to Murasaki. However, it's just so weird because it really feels like they don't want to like surpass Murasaki, because Murasaki solves like most of the game's content all by herself. Like, she's got a lot going on, to say the least. Look at that. That was 3 years. Actually, this is a release from like the first year of the game starting. And then it reran. It's gonna be literally 2 years to the date. Shit. The only Ingrid costume I don't have is her rival outfit. Because every time that I think about like I'm gonna go get Ingrid's rival outfit, they release an outfit for a character like Inage or like Phantasmas. Phantasmas is like a really good one. Like by the time I get saved up, the only one that I don't have is like I just don't have it at that point. Like it's like one of the oldest costumes she has, but it's like Ingrid for the most part does not miss with her outfits. She gets a lot of really good stuff. Corporate Warrior is just like super cool. And even then, Grits, they took away the combo count, so Murasaki just wins harder there too. The only thing that she can't really do now is VR. But the thing is, like, if you're trying to like do quick clears and like fast stuff like that for VR, Murasaki doesn't do that since she relied so much on her critting. In Total War though, she's an absolute fucking menace there, because it's like she's not as fast in terms of damage as Spinel, but she's very consistent. She stays alive very well. You know, we can honestly give that a try. Well, actually, no, we need to let's clear out Ingrid's stuff because stats training. I wish we could give costumes to other characters in the first place. Like that's just really nice. Because I would love to give Azusa's default armor. It's her single best costume. It's like when they say the default costume is like the best one, it's like that's great. Oh, outside of crafting them, just buy them with gems. That's well, how do I put this? They're called chase items. Like it's a chase costume. You're always working hard and logging in after you learn how the process of acquiring a costume like that works. Wow, I forgot about this. I did not pick that up completely. It's not even in the store. New Year. I already have that. Whoops. I'm glad these are permanent though. Oh my goodness, the Chocolate Avenger Kurenai. She has one now. I might have to pick that up. That's also 300 gems. It's expensive. It's expensive. It's expensive for Miss Kurenai. Let's go here to Total War because we need to do it 2 more times. I got my 1.8 million and that's it. I do not want to do that shit anymore. Because I think, like, what do they say? This is complete 5 times? Oh, man. Dude, that's 6 minutes. That's 6 minutes. It's terrible. This is legitimately awful. All right, let's make sure everybody's got their equipment on. Okay, she's good. All right, let's take that off of there. We gotta switch it up with Spinel. We're gonna use Murasaki. All right, we're going in, everybody. I'm gonna use Bide. I need to find that video again. That's so much fun. It's like there's a guy who was he did a video. It's like I think 8 or 9 years old at this point. He's playing like Pokemon Platinum, and he's been resetting for hours to get a shiny Giratina, and he finally gets a shiny Giratina. So he does this like insanely strange strategy of, where are you, Murasaki? I don't have anything equipped to you right now. There you are. He does this really weird strategy of like, okay, I'm going to use Bide. Why in God's name would you use Bide against like a shiny legendary that you're trying to acquire? It's just, he's like using his Empoleon against his this Giratina, and of course Bide does more damage. Like the more damage you take, it's like the more damage Bide does. So it's like he retaliates against. He's like, all right, good. So and then after like time has passed, he ends up killing the Giratina, and then wonders what happened. How could this happen to him? And if you can believe it, if you can, he like, the answer is in like the first seconds of the video. Like, you used Bide, dude. What are you doing? What is this dude doing? I've never felt more confused after watching like a shiny loss video like that. Because with Pokemon, it's like, I don't know if you guys have done this before, but it's like, if you've ever tried to do like shiny hunting stuff, it's like it certainly is a process. Because in my life, I think I've only ever seen 2 shinies. That's it. I remember when I got the first shiny I ever saw was, I was playing Fire Red. I was on one of like the Sevi Islands or something, and I had a shiny Pidgeot appear, and I was like, wow, that's really cool. But I didn't have any Pokeballs, so it's like I wasn't able to like catch it or anything, so I had to reluctantly let it go. I kind of wish they would re-up the odds on shinies, so it's like you get like at least throughout all the encounters you do, all the encounters you take throughout the end time, during your playthrough, you will see at least like 1 shiny. So it makes it feel like a little special. It's like some random chance event. Well, that's what shinies are in the first place. It's a huge chance to like get whether or not like, oh my god, it's shiny. There we go. Oh no, where's my Misaki? No, I don't want to use that. There she is. I wanted a Fujibayashi Yuno. My critic killer, my super cool baby. Demons. Machine Head. Alright, we want her to have I don't want her to charge. I want her to heal. Skank Anchor. Tentacle Mine. Cool. Let's use a fun costume for her. I won't lie to you guys, I don't like Murasaki very much. She's just like literally okay to me. Not much she really does that like, makes me go like, oh yeah, that's my type of gal right there. How cool, they're actually still all suppressed. But they haven't made a future costume yet. Yukikaze one's been requested for years. It should be. It's like, it should be there in the game in the first place. It just makes sense. Because that's one of the first limited supporter situations that never became an actual character. I mean, I know she's cool, but it's like, I just honestly, like, She just don't do that much for me. Whip shuttle. Diarrhea. This also really goes to show just how strong Spinel is. It's like, my goodness. Like, when I, like this same setup, but with Spinel, I would already probably have, like, at least, I think, 750k. I certainly don't have to worry about Murasaki dying, though. She's fucking invincible. So we're at 172 million. We're probably gonna hit at least 240. I know. I really like that the bikini they got for Shizuru. It's super nice. I forgot. I typically have it set to the yellow one because I like the way that looks a lot better. But there's a reason why. But Grits, there's a specific reason why they don't have why they can't pick up the roses. It's because of how they work. The roses are considered like potion pickups. Your partners can't pick them up. They get magnetized to you, or also you have to pick them up, which makes it for a very annoying experience, to say the least. Like when the wave clears and everything gets said and done, she's going to they get magnetized to Shizuru. It doesn't benefit her at all, because this is how it's supposed to work. The red one is nice, but I'm more of a gold person. I like it in yellow. Like, Murasaki does a pretty good job. It's very stable. You take Spinel for the increased risk factor, but she does more damage. Like, you have your primary character you're using. Like, you want to have all the buffs go to Murasaki. You have it so that it faces her, and then they all get magnetized to her, and it explicitly benefits it. This is like a ploy to get what do you call it? I effectively see this as a ploy to get you to switch characters more often, so you can get them to just suck up and get magnetized to her. Because it's a sound strategy, because all those roses have incredibly good effects. They're really, really good. Now let's try someone who I know is going to have a bit of a difficulty doing this. There's Grandma. Grandma, we need you to critical hit. Need you to crit, Grandma. Grandma, you have to come here. We have to crit now. Let's see. She is... Yeah. We need to get a lot of green out there. Mahala Dominator. Mahala EFI system. Yeah, we'll take that off of Phantasma. We can give that to... Oh, that's perfect. We'll give this to her. She's getting hit all the time. Yeah, this is a supporter I honestly never considered anything about, because it's just pure stats, not stats, but it's pure support. Do more damage. Dot it's a dot. It's more damage. It's like, man, because it's well, at least when it comes back around, everybody knows to pick it up. Oh, what a travesty of a game mode. Alright, Grandma. Let's show them how it's done, baby. Smoke cloud. Let's give you some gear. See, even with the fact that crits are able to be used, people don't want to do it because it's just better in general to keep like boosting that up. Because like he just gets stronger as time goes on with the fight. We don't need smoke cloud. Fortitude is nice, but let's use restoration. That'd be really good. Alright. We have to do this 3 more times. We have to do it like 1 more time after this. Is she actually attacking? I can't tell. That would be for events, because I have my headmaster's office. My headmaster's office is at +6 for run increases, and it's also +5 event attempts today. So that's how you get like +6. That's a times 16 run. Makes it really, really fast. Is she just not going to use power within? Good, at least she gets some use out of it. She's actually using Shattering Blow. Because I want to make sure it's like that she's actually using these skills. Yeah, man, you gotta get people in Headmaster's office. It's like the best, it's like one of the best buffs in the game in the first place. Like, you don't even need like, you know, super high level 81s or something. You just have to have people in there and you automatically get the boost to do more attempts at once. Good job, Grandma. That was a really nice run. 405 on that. So if you guys have the funny weapon, like there you go. She's did majority of the damage, which is good because that means she's not taking these hits very well. The only way she's able to... She has the weapon that helps her heal, so it's like... It did pretty good. Did pretty good over there. If I had more copies and like a better setup for this, she could probably hit like 500 million with this. If it was a crit-centric setup. Alright, we need 1 more time. That was good though. I like that. That was actually a solid run with this weapon, because I figured it would do pretty well because it allows her to heal herself and like create an attrition situation. But it's like it only did so much since we can't control her that much in the first place. But she did pretty good damage out of it. I like that. So there you go, guys. Grandma is a solid choice for Total War if you're able to get this behind you. She uses the 1 skill, but boy oh boy is that 1 skill good enough to get you through. Who else could do it? Kurina doesn't sound like a person who could do it because she just gets too caught up in this she gets lost in the sauce. Actually, that wouldn't be a bad thing to try. Let's put her in the main slot. New Year, Kurenai. Happy Halloween. Happy New Year, Miss Kurenai. You actually got a costume for once. Can we give this haircut to, like, the rest of her? Can we just have, like, this? Can we have the Android 18, but for, like, all the rest of her outfits? It's the same thing with, like, where's that at? It's the same thing as Divine Armor. Can we have this and put it on, like, other characters? That would be great. That would be fucking awesome. There's my favorite little ass blaster at. There's, we're fighting demons. So, Ingrid. We need, damage reduction. No, I want to find out where that is. We're fighting a demon. He's a molester. A child molester. Damn. Oh, man. Have you guys ever seen the movie Freddy Got Fingered? That is an amazing movie. I've seen it twice over the years, and it's just like, it gets better on repeat watchings. It's hilarious. It's like the best comedy I've seen in like a long time. I really love it. Where is Chucky Nye? That is a good supporter. Let's give her a good outfit. This is honestly like one of the most like, it's the most realistic and also tame like bikinis they've ever given to a character. I remember this. This is an outfit you had to get only by buying the package in the first place. You can't even give her a hat. I think she's also like, let's see. Yeah, she is a character that also has 3 limited outfits. I forget about her a lot. Because she certainly doesn't have a lot going on for her. She's a vampire bride. We don't have that. We have it to human boost. Because I love taking Kurenai over to the human section so she can just tear into everything. Because for the most part, it's like when you start hitting like 75 and higher in VR, you stop. The defense on enemies is so high that you need is like you will most of your time is just spent whacking away, and you lose a lot of progress at the same time because they're so defensive at this point. Thanks to the best weapon they've made in the game, like since like Ignis or Undying Apophis. Like, this thing is great. 100% penetration, 2.4 times damage increase for the effect. Damn, it is good. It's so good. All Kurenai has to do is just keep whacking at the enemy. The Kurenai is a very good blend of very safe and erotic at the same time. She's got that girl next door sensibility next to her. I wouldn't be surprised with how well I've taken care of Kurenai there, Jeff, that they would give her one. There we go. We're actually getting use out of God's Eye for once. There you go. Come on, Shizuru. Keep breaking him down. Keep punching the crap out of him. Wow, she just gave a lot of particles there. She's nearly dead too. Also, like, I just realized this. This is like from one of like the later stage areas of the game, where they have like this underground laboratory. Like, why did they choose to have this fight in like the underground laboratory area? It just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Oh no, Kurenai's dead. Shizuru, it's up to you, babe. Oh yeah, go get him. Shizuru, go get him. She's gonna turtle until the last possible second. Go get him. Go. Oh my god, go get him, girl. Go get him. That's my girl right there. That's my girl right there. She's absolutely kicking some ass. She's literally fucking invincible. Whip them into shape. You got this, baby. Jeff, we also don't even know what the new VR boss is supposed to be. It's coming in 2 weeks. Well, Kurenai obviously did the most damage out of everybody here. But she also died, which kind of sucks. You tried, Kurenai, and honestly, that's better than you did. You broke the 150,000 barrier. Oh, you have to do the arena? I don't want to do the arena. Oh, we're at 6,000. Okay. We're at 6,000 on almost a Sunday morning. So we get all kinds of cool. We get like the people who are just like doing their weekend dailies, like their stuff to satisfy their thing for the event. So let's do that. Give that to Plappus. Let's change her clothes. Seaside Cracktician. What do we have? Oh, I have equipped. Crystal Pierce Comets. Okay. Oh, we don't need that. We'll see. I'm not gonna hold out any sort of hope or anything like that to see if it's whether or not it's gonna be like a specific machine boss or like whatever it is, because it's like Astaroth. It's just an Astaroth limited outfit situation. Have we ever had like a UFS supporter, UFS squadron supporter, like Spider Queen, Kanaloa, Dragon Ingrid, Mass Tiamanin, or anything like that? Because that's what they do just for like the limited supporters part of the set. If it's a machine boss, I'd certainly love that. Because it's the only one it's like... Because it's the only one that we don't have two for. You know what? Knowing them, they may just be like, oh yeah, you guys remember Tempest and then Tempest 2? How about, you won't believe this, Tempest 3. That's right. The nightmare that is Tempest 2 and having to get blown out, get your back blown out and sent into the AT field. Now you have to do it again, but with more people, more dumb shit, and everything like that. That would honestly be really cool. It's like, well, that's actually really cool. We get to actually, they know Tempest is trouble, so it's like they make something for him. If I'm wrong and Astaroth is the new boss, that's great. It's just more content to do. Though my other question is that they'll be there. What is it? Micah is getting a weapon out of this whole thing. So it makes me question the fact it's like, all right, so she's going to be having something that gets me, that's like, okay, she gets the 10-9. What's that going to do for the most part for her? It's going to benefit probably like one skill, and it's going to make her stronger and resistant to the machine type probably. Because God forbid they put out another human or another demon enemy. Grandma throwing it back for us. She knows what to do. We just fight souped up Mecha Emily or something. That would honestly be really fun to do. I don't know, but then there's also something we have to think about in the fact that it's like, all right, we had the last new VR boss we got was good old Miss Ingrid, and Ingrid came with absolutely disgusting effects, and you also have to deal with an extremely strong ad in the form of Lena. So, like, she can be disarmed, but it's also really hard to do. Like, only ranged characters can actually get any work done against Ingrid. And it's almost the same thing with machines, like LWS squad for the most part, too. They just get, like, totally screwed. Any melee does, because just get kicked to death. That or they should get shot to pieces. But it's like with everything with this game, it's just waiting with cautious optimism. Because getting your hopes raised up too high certainly does lead to disappointment. I guess this is what they call the battered wife syndrome situation. Like, oh man, I hope I don't have to sit there and get myself... I keep constantly getting hurt by it, but I'm keep coming back. You know, stuff like that. Because like every time I think back to it, like we just did Total War, and it's like characters I typically see that, you know, have like, oh man, they should be doing like pretty damn good amounts of damage behind them, and yet we don't have anything like that because they just keep getting like, they get totally rocked because of something like ridiculously stupid. It's like all they have to do is just like dodge away from him, but the AI is just like so simple they can't do it. I mean, it's been said once, and by God, I'll say it again. That game mode takes the action out of Action Tiamanin. That's it. No ifs, ands, buts about it. We'll see what happens with this new outfit situation. Because I think, like, has there been a limited outfit, like, every single month for the most part? It's either one is being reran, or they release a new one. Because they certainly do actually, they rerun outfits and sometimes the banners with these supporters. because it's like some of them are actually like supporters people want, but it's like the ones that they don't want are like that are deemed like just okay. They're deemed like okay. They'll rerun those. They just do not touch stuff like, no, we had Corporate Warrior rerun. They rerun the costume, but they don't rerun the banner, which is something I just cannot understand. I cannot wrap my head around that. It's like you can get the costume, but you can't get the supporter. It's like, why? It's like, what is that for? Oh, I still got VR today. And that's why it really hurts. You do it to yourself. I wonder if it will be like Fuma Amane or something like that. She would be the perfect choice for something like a VR boss for machines, or Tempest 3. Because if we fight like digital clone Astaroth or something, ooh, I know. We'll call her Data Astaroth, because she's taken the data and DNA from the actual Astaroth and turned into a clone. So if we fight like Data Astaroth or something, that would be cool. But it's like that. It doesn't follow the limited supporters philosophy that they've done and used. Oh, I didn't put the club bonus. I gotta manage my people. A new week has arrived. I need to farm up some resources again. I'm below 10,000. How many do I have? It's 15 weeks of stuff. It's 11:30. So we'll give everybody that arena coin gain, because arena resets I think like in the morning, so I think I missed that. Oh well. Who's on deck? 5 days? No, thank you. I knew it too. I missed a day, and I'm like, I'm usually the top donator for these sort of things. Like I fucked that up. Alright, Spinel doesn't have her stuff equipped. Oh shit. Alright, that means I have to go find Kurenai. Because typically the stuff I use for like Demon Weeks is one I just transfer directly over to Rising Star Spinel. I think we can get a better color than that. We don't need it to be totally red. Why did it lock that? Okay, well that is not what I wanted, but now that sucks. There we go. Now she looks like a creamsicle. And her shoes are pink. She's a fashion disaster. Let's give her some juice. Boss, demon, demon, okay. We gotta love it. Gotta love the Spinel experience. Deliberately whiffing skills so you can actually just keep the buff up. Stimpy, we have to keep the buff up. If I keep the buff up, I'm going to lose damage. I don't want to lose damage, Stimpy. I can't be doing this. Don't worry, Ran. I'll go make the damage work out. See, it's not that bad. You still won the fight. Stimpy, you don't understand. We have to keep doing the damage or else I can't say I'm a good player. Or else I'm going to be called a laughingstock in front of all the others. Bren, don't worry. It's just a game. It's just a game. You'll never meet these people. You're just getting in your head about this sort of stuff. Stimpy, it's my life. You cannot understand. It's too much. Your little pea brain cannot comprehend. I just missed the attack. That's going to ruin my DPS. Ren, you gotta stop. You gotta stop playing the game, Ren. There's much more to life than this. It's typically how I feel about that sort of stuff, is like I just totally whiffed an attack right there. It's like, okay, that's it. There's no need to reset this or look for a proper setup. It's like, whatever. Michelle. I haven't actually seen Ren and Stimpy in probably like 10-something years at this point. Like doing that bit right there just made me think about it. I'm like, when was the last time I actually sat down and watched that? Because when I remember, it's like, it's not actually that good in the first place. It's like, it's certainly like, it's funny, but it's like, all right, it's you fell down, you made a fart sound, oh haha, it looks like a penis. It's like, okay, I got it. I certainly understood the joke. Phantasma, you get your ass kicked out here all the time. Like, girl, what are you doing? No, all damage reduction. Fantastic. Woo! For the most part, it's actually pretty doable to run Spinel and Astaroth, but it's like they both have their things that they excel at more. Like Astaroth really likes fighting in range situations with as little enemies as possible to interrupt her. And Spinel can certainly appreciate that too, but she can't really fight against Ingrid that... She can fight Ingrid, but it's like, it's rough. If there's one thing that I can really say about Spinel, it's like she's obviously the meta choice, but it's like she's really fun to play. It's like certainly like brain dead strength, and also just like it feels good to just whack people with her gigantic greatsword. She's the equivalent of like using the Guts build and like making a Guts build in like the Soul series. Hiya! Oh wow, that was good. I think that probably crit or something. Yeah, wow, that just like, dang, she just does 85% of all the damage. I guess that's why everybody likes Spinel so much. Really the best team player that we have. How many do I have left? It's 3,008. So that's about 4 more. She's Guts. If Guts was the hot girl with the minus the horrific backstory. I love it. I love it. Guts doesn't make a very good comparison then, because they're just like the only thing that they have in common is a large sword. I think a more adept comparison would probably be like, I don't know, Cloud Strife or something. Who are some big sword who are some Genki characters that use big sword? I feel like that is an archetype that has not been touched on very well, or at least to my knowledge. Damn it. Yomi is perfect for that. Crap. I have the volume turned down really low on my computer. Like I have like an actual physical speaker I hear stuff with, and I heard all 5 of those spiders just die at the same time. I can only imagine how loud that is on the other side. Cloud Strife is the type for that sort of thing. I don't know. I did not play. I've never played Final Fantasy VII. I've certainly been hearing for literally my entire life that like it's pretty good. You should give it a try. It's like I don't know. I like those kind of games. I can get into them, but it's just like I don't want to play. I don't want to play that. Maybe it's just me like being a contrarian or something. Like I don't know. Was it really that good? Was Final Set? You know, there's our clickbait title. It's like, was Final Fantasy VII really that good? This game totally changed my life. You wouldn't believe the Final Fantasy VII situation. Something ridiculous and stupid like that. They give those videos those kind of titles, and it's the most heartfelt story about how amazing the game is. Damn it, I just dropped it. That's what you do. You have to put like the most inflammatory title ever, but it's like the most loving and caring thing about like that franchise or that game or that movie itself. Guts is the big sword user. Of course he is. You got Yomi from Senran Kagura, who's just girl Guts, but with like the less tragic backstory. Arm cannon and gigantic heavy greatsword and all. It's what it is. The sword is no longer much of considered a blade, but just a gigantic hunk of iron made for crushing. Darn it. God, is there something that's like really good with Spinel is that she makes you really feel really good about like, she makes you feel bad about dropping the buff because it's such a good one. It's like you want to keep it up. But other than that, it's like, man, she's a good character. It's like that's like she's a definite winner. Like to anybody who gets her. Wow, I did not expect that to happen. She just whacked her in the thorax one time. I didn't even think the explosion happened there. Just like blew her ass straight out. Then we caught her sleeping with her ass out. That's all clean there. Okay, cool. Alright, I think that'll be enough for here. We've done a pretty good job today. Thank you everybody for stopping by. It was a very good time today. We got through the newsletter. We farmed the events. We got to check out Grandma's package and stuff like that. We got to see all the cool stuff in here about the for the New Year event. And we certainly got more coming down the pipe with Ragnarok coming soon. So keep an eye out for that. I will certainly have something for Ragnarok, and we'll talk about her when she releases. Thank you everybody once again for stopping by. Don't forget to like, comment, rate, favorite, and subscribe. And as always, I'll see you next time. Goodbye, everybody.